Hello. Hi, everybody. Just to let you know, there's a slight technical issue with the live streaming. So we're probably going to start about 5 minutes late at 19:35. So talk amongst yourselves. Pretend that it's 5 minutes earlier than it was. Yeah.
We're in a go situation now. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. Right, okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the 2026 Lush Prize Awards. I'm Wendy Turner-Webster, a long-time animal rights advocate, and I'm your new host for 2026, so I'm very excited. Over the course of tonight, we'll be celebrating the work of campaigners, scientists, and young researchers, a total of 12 projects around the world, which our judges thought were making the greatest contributions to ensuring a future which is free from animal testing. We've got people in the room tonight from Australia, Argentina, and Canada, as well as Sweden, Switzerland, the United States, and Brazil. All but one of the award winners has been able to attend in person, so we're more or less back to the real-life ceremonies we used to have in the past. However, I'm delighted to say that we're also live streaming this evening's event. Now, this means that those people who can't be with us in the room are still able to join the celebrations wherever they are, so a warm welcome to everyone watching online around the globe. Now, I've got a little device here with me that lets me see your messages as we go along. So if you're tuning in from home, do let us know where you're watching from, tell us who you are, or send us your congratulations to tonight's winners and guests via the YouTube comments section. Right, I think we've, we've got Patricia already from Idaho. My cousin from Argentina is receiving an award. I'm so proud of her. Yeah, brilliant. We're off to a good start. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get on to our first award. This is the Training Prize. This prize is for outstanding work by organisations involved in training others in using non-animal research methods. To present the first award and to say a few words before we start, I'd like you to welcome on stage Lush Director Carl Bygrave.
Well, welcome everybody. It's so nice to see such familiar faces and new friends in the audience today. Now, obviously, we're missing a few people that would normally be here. So Mark and Mo, unfortunately, Mark's hurt his back and he's not able to travel, and Hillary's had an operation. So I wonder if you'd all do me a favour and turn towards that camera and just wave. To say, hi Mark, hi Mo, hi Hillary. We'll see if they message in. They might message in.
Oh, yes. I'll keep an eye out.
So I know there'll be thanks at the end, but I just wanted to say a very special thanks, because it takes 2 years to organise all of this and to make everything happen. And Rob and Rebecca and Craig from the Ethical Consumer, and Kirsty and Karen and Hillary and our international judges really put in a lot of effort to make it happen. So I just wanted to say a special thank you for them. So what you're going to see tonight, if you think about innovation, there's an awful lot of innovation in the room, a lot of amazing projects that we get to see, and they're the future of science. They are where we're heading. And obviously with that innovation, that means that there's got to be change. And what we've seen over the last couple of years is the start of that change, with governments making some right moves in the right directions. We've obviously had the FDA in the USA with their roadmap. We're waiting on the EU. Hopefully in June, they'll publish something and tell us what the EU are going to do. We've got Korea and Canada with political will to make changes. And in the UK, towards the end of last year, we had the UK government strategy for replacing animals in science. Now, one of the interesting things about that was that it was quite a comprehensive review of where animals are used in science. And what it struck me that the cosmetic industry, where obviously what we do, is quite quite knowledgeable and knows a lot about the new approach methodologies and not testing on animals. But the rest of the scientific world seems to be quite a long way behind. Seem to be quite stuck in their ways. So we've got to change that. We've got to make a move. We've got to get people to move their positions. And by virtue of you being here, you are all experts in this. So whether you're winners or guests or NGOs or whatever, you are experts. What I'd really like to ask is that we really need everybody to step up and be ambassadors. We need you to share your enthusiasm for the subject, for the science, and to be able to explain to other people why they should move away from what they're doing. Because we all know that the human biology relevant science is where we should be. So I'd just like you to be ambassadors, speak out. Wendy.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Carl. Let's now have a look at the Training Prize shortlist. There were 9 great projects on this year's Training Prize shortlist, spanning 5 continents. This year, the judges decided to split the Training Prize into 2 awards of £25,000. I'll hand over back to you, Carl, to announce the first winner.
So the first winner of the Training Prize is the Laboratory for Alternative Methods in Argentina, and here to accept the award is Dr. Laura Gutierrez.
We'll now see a short video about the work promoting non-animal toxicity testing in Latin America.
The Alternative Methods Laboratory, LMA, based at the University of Buenos Aires, Argentina, was founded in 2016 in response to the lack of concrete pathways to replace animal testing in regulatory science in the country. A central component of LMA's work is delivering training programs, reaching more than 3,600 participants from universities, regulatory agencies and industries, including cosmetics, agrochemicals and pharmaceuticals. In Latin America, the transition to non-animal science faces persistent challenges, including limited resources, restricted access to validated methods, and evolving regulatory frameworks. LMA contributes by strengthening local capacities, promoting collaboration, and supporting gradual regulatory progress.
Would you like to say a few words?
Just a few words. I have some words written here just in case I get nervous, and it's the case. So I will read.
You're amongst friends.
Okay. On behalf of the Laboratorio de Métodos Alternativos, I'm really grateful for this prize. Receiving the Lush Prize in the training category particularly is meaningful for us because it reflects our comprehensive work. And I would especially like to thank the Argentinian industry and the regulatory agencies that trust in our work and have been open to the dialogue that is not easy sometimes for the regulatory agencies. Their support has been essential for the real implementation of alternative methods in Argentina. And I would like to thank Lush Prize team, of course, and including the judge that voted for us, for supporting this type of initiatives that are very important for regions like Argentina and South America, because we need that type of support to make the progress real. And finally, of course, I would like to thank all my team that are a group of incredible women that make every day all the work possible, and the lab is growing up day a day. Thanks to Martina, Mariela, Mora, Silvia, Claudia, Marti, Marta, Ludmila. Thank you.
Presenting the award for the second winner of the training prize is one of our longest serving judges, Christy Sullivan. Christy has been leading organisations working on non-animal methods in the United States for more than 2 decades. Please welcome her to the stage to announce the winner.
Thank you, and I'm very excited to say that the second winner of the training prize, also with an award of £25,000, is Dr. Sylvia Engler from University of Sao Paulo in Brazil.
We now have a short video about Sylvia's work.
For the past 30 years, Dr. Sylvia Engler has trained hundreds of scientists in non-animal methods of research. At the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil, her team develops human-relevant models to study complex diseases and develop new compounds for pharmaceutical and cosmetic applications. The lab's work supports academic groups, technical staff, and industry teams in shifting away from traditional animal-based assays, building confidence in how NAMS-generated data can guide regulatory decision-making in Brazil. This training extends beyond Brazil, with visiting researchers from Chile, Peru, and through activities in Argentina. These programs reinforce a deep cultural transition, training professionals to not only know how to use NAMS, but genuinely understand why these methods are scientifically superior, ethically aligned with contemporary principles, and crucial for the future of biomedical research.
Thank you very much. I'm completely honored to be here. I am deeply grateful for this award. I am thankful to the Lush Prize team. It's a great honor to be here today, and I would like to share this recognition with women all around the world, especially those who persist every day in science, education, caregiving, and in transforming society by science, often while facing silent challenges. May we continue opening paths, inspiring new generations, and building a more just, human, and inclusive future for the human beings. Thank you indeed.
Thank you. Big congratulations to our training prize winners. Now, let's see who's been chatting with us on YouTube. So much love for Dr. Maria in the chat. Bravo, Gineas. Adriana from Madrid. Congrats to my amazing cousin. PhD Laura G from Argentina. Simon from Mint Magazine says hello, Wendy. I'll see you later, Simon. Animal Justice, hello from Canada, and shout out to our amazing exec director, Camille. And shout out to my Humane World AFSA collab colleagues. That's it for now. I'm sure we're going to get some more in. Okay. So, of course, you will all be familiar, actually, with the trophies themselves, the much coveted ceramic hares made by Brendan Hesmond-Halsh. Now, I was filming very recently at Animal Aid when they were with us here tonight, and a previous winner of the Lush Prize. And we wanted the hare in the back of one of the filming shots we were doing. And honestly, whenever anyone so much as breathed or went near the hare, it was, watch out, don't touch the hare. And trust me, a Ming vase would not have had as much care, consideration, and love that that hare had. So let's see who is going to be the next lucky recipient of one, because we're now on to the Science Prize. The prize aims to stimulate worldwide research, most likely to contribute to an end to the use of animals in research, testing, and education. To present the prize is Professor Ellen Fritscher, one of our lead science judges and director of the Swiss Centre for Applied Human Toxicology in Basel. While we look at the shortlist, please welcome Ellen onto the stage. Now, there were 13 groups shortlisted for the Science Prize, 5 from the United States, 6 from Europe, 1 each from China and Brazil. So I'll hand over to you, Ellen, to please announce the winner.
So, this is very exciting because the Science Prize, for me, of course, is extremely exciting. And I'm happy to announce that the winner of this year's Science Prize for £50,000, which is a significant amount for research, is the Female Reproductive Health team from the Wyss Institute, and it will be collected by Zoe Zadifar from the United States.
Let's just watch a short video about the team's work.
The Biosensing, Microfluidics and Microsystems team at the Wyss Institute of Harvard University, USA, works on non-animal models to study diseases of the female reproductive system. The team's next-generation organ-on-chip platform allows scientists to observe how human tissues respond to drugs, microbes and environmental changes in real time with unprecedented accuracy. Using this platform, they created the first human cervix and vagina chip models that faithfully replicate how these tissues function, including responses to hormones, beneficial bacteria, and infections, key aspects of women's reproductive health. These models are already enabling breakthroughs in understanding infection, fertility, and disease, while accelerating the development of safer, more effective treatments, offering a scalable path to replace animal testing and improve global women health outcomes.
Thank you very much for this award. It's a true honor to be a recipient of this award among so many inspiring individuals of all of the impactful projects that has been offered to this panel. This recognition is especially meaningful to us because it recognizes an unmet need in the biomedical research. The women's health has been overlooked for so many decades, and this prize and this prize is really encouraging us to leverage advanced technologies and human-based research to really close this gap in women's health and improve the life of millions of women around the world. And I would like to thank my mentors, Dr. Don Inkber, Dr. Adama Sise, our teams, the Women's Female Reproductive Health team, Biosensing team at the Wyss Institute of Harvard University, our collaborators, all of the people that supported us by funding us throughout years to accomplish this project. And this truly inspires us to continue leveraging these models, develop better models to help women. And I would like to thank also my family, my parents, and my siblings. They have always been very encouraging and supportive of the research work that I have been doing. And thanks again for this amazing award. Thank you.
While we're doing photos, we have a couple more messages here from Simon. Incredible work by everyone. I agree with that. And from someone who goes by the handle of @Sunbalanki, who says, amazing work, keep going. Yes, there's no doubt of that. Somebody from the handle @BC, I can't really say that. Wow, incredible work and amazing speeches. A win for women's health. Excellent. Okay. Right. Next up is the Political Advocacy Prize. This prize aims to reward the work of exceptional individuals, groups, or organisations focusing on policy interventions promoting the use of non-animal methods. While we look at the shortlist, please welcome on stage our longest-serving judge. He's been on the judging panel since the prize began in 2012. And he's come all the way from Toronto, I believe, to be with us tonight. It's Troy Seidel. We've got 8 groups on this shortlist, with 3 from Europe, 2 from North America, 2 from South America, and 1 from Taiwan. So I'll hand over to you, Troy, to please announce the winner.
All right, thank you so much. And the winner of this year's Political Advocacy Prize is Lindsay Borton and Dr. Kelly Coleman from the United States. Congratulations.
Now we'll just watch a short video about their work.
Medical device safety assessments determine whether substances which can cause fevers, known as pyrogens, are present on the device. This includes pyrogens which originate from the surface of materials or contaminants of the device, known as material-mediated pyrogens, or MMPs. Global regulatory agencies have continued to require the rabbit pyrogen test to identify MMPs, even though its accuracy is questionable. During the test, rabbits are restrained whilst the substance is injected into a vein in their ear to test for a reaction, often suffering repeated injections. Lindsay Borton and Dr. Kelly Coleman examined industry databases of 18,000 chemicals and 7,000 rabbit tests, finding that MMPs do not exist in a medical device context. This evidence contributed directly to the removal of the rabbit pyrogen test requirement from the new international standard for safety assessment, saving many rabbits from cruel tests and improving the safety profile of medical devices.
Big congratulations. Obviously, I'd like to hear from both of you, but Dr. Coleman, you received a judge's commendation in this category in 2020, and now you're a winner. So was it worth the wait? Please tell us.
As I said earlier, my mom used to say persistence is a virtue, so
Yeah.
I think so. Hope springs eternal.
Please.
Great. Kelly and I would like to thank everyone who contributed data to this project. We did not do it alone. There are hundreds of people behind the scenes who provided their rabbit testing data, their chemical databases, reviewed our publication, provided guidance and support along the way. They are the unsung heroes of this project. We'd also like to thank our families for supporting us, all the researchers who also supported us along the way. And then finally, personally, thank you, Kelly, for your persistence in every manner of non-animal methods. It's truly inspiring.
That's a hard act to follow. I'd like to thank the Lush Committee, obviously. Thank Mark and Mo, who are at home watching. You're an inspiration. But also, I would like to, the unsung heroes that Lindsay mentioned, and we talked about this afternoon, that we were so surprised and persistence with charm is another thing my mom used to talk about, but going after these companies and contract research labs and calling them up or emailing them and say, by the way, would you give us 5 years worth of data? And some of these labs had to manually go through file cabinets and get this data, and it took a while to get it. But nobody said no. And I think that's really a sign of what's happening, with this NAMS world. We're surfing this wave right now, and it's a good place to be. But thanks to those folks, I'd like to thank my manager, Scott Pettibone, and my lab director, senior director, Eric Steinmetz. They let me work on this. I don't think they really knew what I was doing, but they thought it was thought it was important, and I think thanks just to Lush, because this is a really great vote of confidence and endorsement for this effort, and I think it's going to be kind of a model for other things we're going to do in the future, for some other NAMS projects that we've got cooking, and maybe we'll come back again another year. But thank you again. This is just a really great honor.
And a quick message in from Animal Justice, which says, thank you for saving so many rabbits, really incredible work. Right, before we leave this prize, the judges wanted to let us know that they made a formal commendation for one of the other projects. They were also inspired by the work of Dr. Karen Capile, who has done amazing work to challenge the regulations requiring animal use in rabies diagnosis in Brazil. Here's a slide of her receiving her certificate. A round of applause, please. Okay, so on to the Public Awareness Prize. This prize looks to reward individuals or organisations raising public awareness of ongoing animal testing. This year, the judges split the prize between two different projects. Presenting our first Public Awareness Prize, we have the renowned naturalist, television presenter, author, environmental campaigner, and an animal aid fellow patron of mine, the one and only Chris Packham.
Wendy, before you go on, did no one else get the memo? It's Lush.
Oh.
I'm looking at a lot of grey, black and brown and blue out there. I mean, who's ever seen a grey, black and blue bath bomb, for goodness sake?
You're an oasis in the desert, Chris, you really are. And on that note, we'll have a look at the shortlist. We've got 10 groups, 5 from Europe, 4 from America, 4 from the Americas and 1 from Australia. So, take it away.
Well, look, for me, science is the art of understanding truth and beauty. And Lush is involved in the beauty of that. And the purpose of this prize is to tell the truth to the world that there are alternatives to animal testing. So it seems to be the perfect combination. But when I was involved in science firsthand, there was always a reluctance for scientists to speak out. I think, to be fair, it was about we generate the data, we do the analysis, we peer review, and we publish the results. You do what you will with that. But now we're living in a time of crisis, and we really need to act far more quickly. So one of the things that I find joyous about working with the scientific fraternity now is their desire to speak out. But of course, in order to do that, they need to be able to find a voice, and therefore public awareness is incredibly important. If we can't get public awareness, we won't get political change. Now, I'm not a person to kick a man or a government when it's down. But we have a government in the UK at the moment is at a point of crisis. I would argue, in fact, that the UK, on account of that, is at a point of crisis. And as a consequence of that, this is a government that we elected with a huge majority and a manifesto for change when it has come to issues involving animal welfare. So I would like to echo what Carl said at the very beginning, and that is that whether you are a scientist, whether you're involved in public awareness, or whether you work for Lush, this is the time to be an ambassador for all of the voiceless. This is the time to shout above the noise, use your voice on behalf of all of those creatures that simply can't. Because it's in that manifesto that this government promised to reduce animal use in scientific testing. And at the moment, I think low-hanging fruit like that, which would satisfy an enormous number of their voters, is something that we should make sure that we pursue them to do. And let's be very clear, there are some very dedicated public servants involved in this government at the moment. But since the Treasury's been running the country, they haven't been able to do very much. Let's give them a chance to do that, and let's compel them to do it by using our voice. And that's why I'm very pleased tonight to be able to announce the winner of the Public Awareness Campaign. And it's Animal-Free Science Advocacy for a campaign that they ran called Honour Me With a Name. And here to collect the award is Rachel Smith.
Let's just have a look at a short video about the group's work.
The secrecy that surrounds animal research and testing hinders public and political discussion of how animals are used. Using freedom of information laws, Animal Free Science Advocacy, or AFSA, obtained over 700 pages of documents on the breeding of primates at 3 Australian labs. AFSA's research focused on how the animals are handled, housed and bred, since this comprises their day-to-day lives outside of the experimentation that they are subjected to. Using the FOI documents and published primate studies, AFSA was able to identify distinct primates and launch the Honour Me with a Name campaign, offering supporters the opportunity to give the primates a symbolic name, in doing so honouring them as individuals, not numbers. The findings of this research were sent to all Australian MPs and senators to support AFSA's call for the phasing out of primate experimentation.
Rachel, when your organisation was called Humane Research Australia, you won a Public Awareness Prize in 2014. So to win 2 Lush Prizes must feel quite special, rather like, I would imagine, like a double Oscar-winning prize, but better.
Yes.
Let's pump my other part-time job.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone, and thank you to Lush for the award. And thank you to the judges for your timing in assessing all the applications. We're really honoured to accept this award on behalf of AFSA. As everyone knows here, it can be very difficult work, and we're a small organisation, so it really means a lot to us to be recognised in this way and for the funding to be able to sustain the momentum for this really important campaign. This is a team effort, so I'd really like to recognise the AFSA small team, our volunteers, our staff, our primate campaigner, our committee, and our supporters, particularly the supporters that participated in this campaign. And I really hope that for all of us here, there's so many amazing projects that there are some wins for us all for human relevant and ethical research, because they're very much deserved. And finally, I'd like to dedicate this award for all the primates that have been needlessly killed and that have been recognised by this campaign. It's just a very small gesture, and we'll all keep the fight going.
To announce the second Public Awareness Prize, please welcome to the stage Lush's Campaigns Manager, Andrew Butler.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to announce the second winner of the Public Awareness Prize, and it is Animal Justice. And to collect the prize, all the way from Canada, we have Camille Lubchak.
Let's see a short video about their work.
Animal Justice worked with courageous whistleblowers to expose cruel, secret cardiac experiments on young dogs, rats and pigs at St Joseph's Hospital in London, Ontario, Canada. Dogs were subjected to invasive, painful research, including surgically induced heart attacks, and lived in barren cages until they were killed for organ collection. The resulting exposé across national media triggered immediate and overwhelming outrage. Within days, public and political pressure forced the hospital to immediately cease the dog experiments, and the surviving dogs were successfully adopted out instead of being killed. Ontario's Premier announced new laws to ban cruel and unacceptable research, and the government introduced landmark legislation to outlaw invasive medical research on dogs and cats, ban their breeding for research, and promote adoptions for all animals post-experiment.
Well, thank you so much. I accept this award on behalf of Animal Justice with enormous gratitude and also humility. First and foremost, I really need to thank Alex and Jesse. They're the two whistleblowers who risked everything to come to us to speak out. And they're the ones who made sure that these dogs' stories were told. Thank you to the team at Animal Justice. Almost everybody on our staff worked incredibly hard. This is a true team project and a joint effort. We have deep gratitude to the Investigative Journalism Bureau out of the University of Toronto, which worked with us to tell the stories of these animals and got exposure on the front page of national newspapers. I'm thrilled to share that we're on the cusp of new laws being passed. We're expecting this legislation to pass sometime this month, which is amazing. And finally, I'd love to dedicate this award to one special dog named Salt. She was named Salt by the whistleblowers because they had a special relationship with her. Her cage mate, Sugar, was killed in one of the experiments, and Salt really suffered from being alone after that. And she was part of the inspiration for Alex and Jesse to come forward and tell the stories. So this award goes to Salt, who unfortunately didn't make it, and the dogs who perished. It was too late for them, but hopefully not too late for some future lives. Again, just really honored to be here. Thank you so much to the Lush Prize, the judges, and everybody who played a role. And when we win a world without animal testing, it will be because of the brilliance and dedication of companies like Lush and of people like you in this room. Thank you.
Now, the judges have also made 2 formal commendations for projects in this category, one for the Organisation for Animal Rights and the Environment in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and one for Camp Beagle in the UK. Thank you, but before we leave this category, Andrew would like to say a few words about Camp Beagle.
Thanks, Wendy. I just want to build really on what Chris was talking about earlier, which is the political situation in the UK at the moment. And one aspect in particular, which is the fact that animal breeding facilities and labs have been now classified as key national infrastructure, which puts them on the same footing as power stations and airports. And what that means for groups like Camp Beagle is that it makes protesting and holding these facilities to account so much harder, and the penalties for doing so much harsher. And this is something that civil liberties groups, lawyers, amazing parliamentarians and peers have spoken out against, and yet it's still going ahead. And while this is an attack on our civil liberties and something to fight against, it's also something to celebrate in an odd way, because it means that collectively we have rattled the cage of the vivisection industry. This is them pushing back. This is their lobbying effort. And we've been here before. In the 90s, we saw an extraordinary series of campaigns that shut down breeding facilities for labs. So we saw the closure of Shamrock that bred primates, consort beagles, regal rabbits, Newchurch guinea pigs, Hillgrove cats. One after another, they were shut down. And at the same time as that was happening, we had brave investigators inside Huntingdon Life Sciences exposing the cruelty that was going on there. And the resulting campaign saw HLS's shares plummet, so much so that they had to be bailed out by the government, who also then went after the campaign groups, went after the campaigners, and jailed them. And this was just a bump in the road. It was something that was put in our way, and we navigated our way around it. Just as this new reclassification of animal labs and breeding facilities as key national infrastructure is also an obstacle that we need to navigate our way around. And in the 30 years that I've been working on this issue, I've never been more optimistic. the incredible campaigning organizations that are out there right now, the amazing scientific advances by so many of the people in the room today, the incredible lobbying efforts, and the fact that we have so many MPs in government right now who are willing to stand up and say animal testing needs to end and we need to prioritize better science. So thank you for all of the work that you're all doing collectively. I really hope that in the very near future, Lush Prize won't exist. Not because we've run out of steam, but because all research will be non-animal. Thank you.
A few more comments from YouTube before we move on. From Bexy, seeing all these nominees and winners doing such impactful work gives us hope. Yeah, it certainly does. Simon, it's amazing to see researchers, activists and organisations working together to create a future without animal testing. And I cannot say this one, Sumbalanki. Thank you, whistleblowers, for speaking up. Absolutely 100% agree with that. Okay, before we get into our final main prize category, the young researchers, we're going to hear from Dr. Carol Treasure, who won a Lush Prize way back in 2013. I mean, clearly she was just a slip of a girl. I can say that because I know her. Carol will talk about the impact of winning for her and her team. Please welcome Carol to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Great to be back here at the Lush Prize. Just been asked to share a few words on my experiences with Lush Prize and Lush over the years. It's played a really big part in my journey, for which I'm really grateful. Back in 2008, I thought it might be a good idea to start an animal-free testing lab. But at the time, there were no accepted test guidelines. There was no animal testing bans. We didn't have the technology we've got today. And yeah, it was really, really tough. So we had to do a lot of training courses as well, in addition to the testing. I was maxed out on my credit cards. You know, I thought I was a bit cocky when I started Accelerate. I thought, yeah, I can do this. It's been 100 times harder than I ever thought it was going to be. And was it one of those times where, you know, you don't get paid when you start up a company? Absolutely maxed out. Thought this was the last straw. I'd literally had my credit card turned down at the local co-op. Very embarrassing. And that very evening, an email popped up on my phone to say that Accelerate had won the Lush Training Prize. Wow. And the reason it is so special to me is that there's always that one single moment on a business journey where you think that was the moment where things clicked in and things changed. It wasn't just about the financial recognition, and I'm sure a lot of you fellow Lush Prize winners can identify with this. It was very much about knowing that we had moral support. Someone was in our corner. Somebody agreed that what we were trying to do actually meant something. And I think that's always the amazing value of the Lush Prize. So that was back in 2013. What's happened along the way? Well, we've seen a massive explosion of technology that's really exciting. And I have to say that if as a young scientist, I'd known that we'd have things like organ on a chip or the genomic screens, the AI, the computer modeling, I would have been totally blown away that that kind of thing was possible. So let's think, what's going to happen in the next 20 years, you know? Because our generation of scientists has created now a momentum, a snowball effect. The pace of change is faster. And I agree with Andrew, I've never been as optimistic as I am now about the eradication of animal testing. So in another 20 years, organ on a chip is going to be obsolete. All the things we get really excited about now, you know, sorry, Lorna. But these things are stepping stones. Back then, the simple cell-based assays were stepping stones. Now, the organ on a chip is the next stepping stone. We keep taking a step up and a step up. Science is incredible, and I think that one of the things that's really key now is that we educate the next generation of young scientists in NAMS. We're educating our scientists about sustainability, you know, in terms of university education. A lot of university students are still learning about animal testing. Why is that? You know, Animal Aid have run an amazing program called Universities Challenged to try and get them to switch over to more in vitro work. So I think that educational piece is really, really important now. And what we're also trying to do, now that we've had this amazing celebration this year of the UK's strategy to replace animals, it is a cause for celebration, but what we're trying to do now is to not only make the scientific case, but make the economic case as well. And this argument about making the UK a global power in terms of non-animal testing. We've got so much talent in this country and so well networked across the world. This is just such an important part of our economy. I really believe that. And finally, I guess I just wanted to say, and Carl and Chris both stolen my thunder here, because this, but I'm going to say it a third time because I think it's really, really important. Not everyone wants to be an activist, but please, please always be an advocate whenever you get the opportunity. I've always believed that you can't completely separate science from politics and activism if you really want to make a difference, but we all have our own ways of contributing to that. And whether that's publishing a work, not everyone wants to go shouting in the street. You know, there's lots of things we can do, writing to our MPs, sharing work that we've done, just being able to share and maybe talk to the Lush Prize team about ways that we can get involved. I just wanted to say that if you're a young researcher here, maybe for anyone actually, we all get a little bit of imposter syndrome, don't we? We think, oh, no one wants to hear what I've got to say. But they do. And you, if you're a prize winner, you have won a very prestigious, international, well-renowned prize. You've got that credibility in addition to all the other scientific credentials. It gives you a voice. So please do get involved. We do need everybody to speak out about the science, about the ethics, about the economy, all of these aspects together. So great welcome to all of the new Lush Prize winners from this year. We've got a great community that we've built over the years, and let's see where we can take this next. Thank you.
Such an inspirational lady. I've said that many times about you, Carol, as you know. Okay, next, we're now moving on to the Young Researchers category. This award is open to keen young scientists up to 35 years old with a desire to fund the next stage of a career focused on an animal test-free future. This one is basically a whole award ceremony in itself because we've got 5 award winners, each receiving a £10,000 prize. Now, the first Young Researcher Prize will be awarded by the Member of Parliament for North Ayrshire and Arran, Irene Campbell. Irene has been an important supporter of improving animal protection regulation since her election in 2024. Now, I had the great pleasure of filming with her recently, and I can honestly say that the animals have a true friend in Parliament. I can also reassure Chris that Irene did get the memo, as you will see when she comes up on stage, and she's very pretty in pink. So let's have a look at the shortlist. This year saw 16 young researchers shortlisted, 12 from Europe, 2 from the United States, and 1 each from South Korea and Brazil. Over to you, Irene, to please announce our first winner.
The first Young Researcher Prize goes to Dr. Adam Fellows from the Royal Veterinary College in London for his work on bioengineered arteries to replace animal use in cardiovascular research.
Now see a short video about their work.
Cardiovascular disease is a leading cause of death worldwide, and despite experiments on thousands of animals, such studies rarely translate into effective treatments for human patients. Dr. Adam Fellows of the UK's Royal Veterinary College has developed a new method for producing replicas of human blood vessels in the laboratory, known as engineered pulmonary artery tissues, EPATs. His group is working to make scientifically robust and cost-effective EPATs as similar as possible to a human blood vessel so that they can be used to deliver more human-relevant screening for promising new treatments for cardiovascular disease, replacing animal use.
Congratulations, Adam. Would you like to say a few words?
Thanks very much. It's a real pleasure to receive the prize and be surrounded by so many other people doing such great work. I should probably thank a couple of people. So this project was actually started about 6 years ago now at Imperial College London. So I'd like to thank everyone who was involved with that project there, particularly my supervisor, Dr. Beata Wojciech-Stothard. I'd also like to thank the Royal Vet College, who are now currently supporting this work, along with my PhD student, Hassan Chowdhury. And finally, I should also thank my parents, who have been long supporters of my work, who should be tuning in online from Manchester, as well as my partner Lilia, who is in the audience over there. And finally, thanks very much to everyone at Lush for funding this. I really appreciate it.
Just a quick YouTube comment. Simon says the Lush Prize Awards continue to inspire a global shift towards ethical science and innovation. It's absolutely 100% true. So to present the next Young Researcher Award, we have another of our judges, Kamel Mansouri, over here from the USA. He's a former Young Researcher winner himself and brings his vast knowledge of computational toxicology to the judging team. A warm welcome, please.
Being a computational modeler myself, it's my pleasure to announce the next winner, Dr. Alicja Mikolajczyk from Poland, for her work on computational toxicity assessments of advanced nano mixtures.
Let's watch a short video.
Dr. Alicja Mikołajczyk's work advances the replacement of animals in the safety testing of nanoparticles by developing computational or in silico methods to predict the toxicity of complex innovative advanced materials, IAMs. IAMs have never previously been addressed using nano-QSAR methods. The work integrates in silico, in chemico, and in vitro evidence to support animal-free, regulatory relevant safety assessment. An important next step will be to connect these nano-QSAR mix models with adverse outcome pathway-based approaches, further strengthening their regulatory relevance. This work builds on a paradigm shift in computational nanotoxicology that has extended nano-QSAR to enable realistic, regulatory relevant assessment of IAMs. Together, these tools contribute to the replacement of animal testing, such as repeated dose inhalation toxicity studies.
Good morning, everyone. So, dear Lush Prize Committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank first the Lush Prize Committee for recognizing my research and for supporting science that can create future without animal testing. I would like to thank to all people and collaborators that have supported me during my research. I truly believe that alone we can go faster, but together we can go much farther. I would like to thank to my supervisor, Professor Tomasz Puzyn from University of Gdańsk, who first inspired me introduce computational methods that can protect both humans and the environment and animals, of course. I would like to thank to my parents and to my family, especially to my beloved daughters, Laura and Lea, who reminds me every day that impossible does not exist. And to, of course, to the father who cares about them and give me space to do something that I truly believe in. Today I have some reflection. 8 years ago there was no computers. 60 years ago there was no computational toxicology. Today's ceremony is a proof that computational method for animal-free testing and risk assessment is not a science fiction, it's a future. I truly believe that we can provide new alternative methods for safer chemicals and materials. Thank you very much.
Our next presenter is one of our leading training judges, Marise Campos Valadares. Marise is a professor of toxicology at the Federal University of Goiás in Brazil. Please welcome her to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm a little surprised, but it's an honor being here in this ceremony. And I have to present the next winner for her work on accelerating adverse outcome pathway development at scale. It's John Hedrickson, sorry for my pronunciation, from Sweden.
We'll watch a short video about your work.
While safety testing of new drugs and chemicals represents a major use of animals, it often fails to accurately predict human responses, especially for complex effects such as liver toxicity. The Adverse Outcome Pathway Framework, AOP, is a sequence of biological events which identifies early molecular and cellular effects that are indicators of higher level outcomes, such as organ damage or cancer, and offer a more targeted and human-relevant approach than using animals. Dr. Jonna Rietijk's work aims to accelerate AOP development in liver toxicity by leveraging one of the largest multiomics efforts to date, conducted with the OASIS Consortium, which brings together industry, regulatory, and academic partners. Whereas most studies focus on only a handful of drugs in a single model, this work compares diverse cellular models while measuring responses at many levels.
It's such a big honor to receive this Lush Prize today, among all these brilliant other young researchers that I had the chance to meet with today. I would like to thank the people that have been a very large support throughout my career, starting with my group and supervisors of my PhD, including Professor Ulla Spjut and Jordi Carreras Beukwaert. And also I would like to thank my current supervisors, including Anne Carpenter and Shantanu Singh at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard in Boston, and the OASIS Consortium that gave me the opportunity to work on this very exciting project that I was awarded this prize for. So thank you so much.
Our next presenter is one of the 2024 Young Researcher winners and one of this year's judges, Dr. Jung Tan, currently working in Canada. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Tan.
So our fourth Young Researcher Award goes to Dr. Marion Revio from Switzerland for her work on considering stakeholder perspective to improve the uptake of non-animal methods.
We have a short video about Dr. Marion's work.
Fish are commonly used in laboratory research for environmental risk assessments. Alternative methods using fish cells grown in the lab have been shown to closely resemble effects observed in whole fish. Dr. Marion Revel from the Swiss Federal Institute of Aquatic Science and Technology is exploring why such alternatives are not yet widely used in practice. She studies the social and technical barriers that limit their acceptance, particularly among regulators and industry, through interviews and workshops with stakeholders, to define the specific context of when and how these methods can be reliably applied, known as their applicability domain. The applicability domain of the acute fish cell line assay will then be defined by using data from the Fish Acute Cell Toxicity database. By addressing this barrier, the project aims to support the broader adoption of non-animal methods in environmental decision-making.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really want to thank all the people that you actually have seen on this video, which are in the group that I'm part of. So I really want to thank the whole team at EAVAG, especially my supervisor, Christine Schimmer, as well Bernard Rüffer, which is the person that initiated me to social science, which was a complete new world that I had to discover through this work. I also want to thank Christoph Schur, which is another postdoctoral researcher that I'm working very closely with. And then also the PETA Science Consortium that I'm working very closely to as well to work on this database. And to finish, I want to really thank Lush, because for me, I feel very much at the beginning of my career, and it's an immense privilege and a big honor, and it was very, very interesting and brings me a lot of energy to want to continue in that direction. And I want to finish thanking my partner that is here and has been supporting me to all emotional up and downs through my work. So thank you very much.
Now, unfortunately, our final Young Researcher winner couldn't make it here this evening. Dr. Rahul Rimal is a winner of his work on building bioreactor-based models to mimic systemic toxicity in burns. So please give a big round of applause in his absence. And we have a short video about his work.
Burn skin models traditionally rely on cruel animal tests that lack precise control over the burn depth and severity. Dr. Rahul Rimal from EMPA in Switzerland is developing a 3D printed multi-compartment bioreactor to cultivate lab-grown human burn skin models interconnected with liver-derived blood vessels to study environmental particle penetration and systemic toxicity, which is a risk in patients with burn wounds. The project will be completely free of animal components, using human-derived collagen 3D hydrogels and human platelet lysate. The lab-grown models will provide an ethical and reproducible platform to understand burn-related systemic toxicity.
Right, before we leave this prize, the judges also made a formal commendation for one of the other young researchers. They were so impressed by the work of Dr. Kate Mintram from Brunel University in London, who's been working on fish GAN, a water toxicity prediction model that doesn't use live fish. Here's a slide of her receiving her certificate. A round of applause, please. There we are. And that brings us to the end of the Young Researcher section this evening. I've just got 3 comments now on YouTube. Kelly is feeling so grateful to see people fighting to stop animal testing. Ruby, so many incredible people working hard to make change. And Bexy, what a category. Well done to all the nominees and winners. You're absolutely amazing humans. Keep doing this life-changing work. Hurrah to that. So we are nearly at the end of our marathon prize giving. Our final award is the Major Science Collaboration Award. It's non-financial, but where the judges were asked to award a major multi-year collaboration with more than one large institution involved. To present this year's award, we have yet another of our amazing judges, Kasturi Mahadik. Kasturi leads the Centre for Predictive Human Model Systems in India. Please welcome her to the stage. Now, there were 4 projects shortlisted in this category, 2 from the USA, 1 each from Finland and Belgium. So now over to you to announce the winner.
And the winner of this year's Major Science Collaboration is another AFSA, Animal Free Safety Assessment Collaboration, for their work on bringing together cooperations, the civil society to transform the rules requiring animal use globally. Jay Ingram and Georgia Paloka are here to collect the award on behalf of the team.
We'll now see a short video about animal-free safety assessment collaboration's work.
The Animal Free Safety Assessment Collaboration, AFSA, is a multi-sector partnership between non-profit, corporate and philanthropic leaders working to advance acceptance and use of animal-free safety science as a gold standard across regulatory frameworks worldwide. AFSA focuses on different toxicological sectors where animal testing remains common practice, including chemicals, consumer products, medicines and biologicals. By combining diverse expertise toward a common goal, AFSA is actively shaping a future in which safety is achieved without animal testing, through cooperation, openness, and shared scientific progress.
Thank you so much. I know that we're the ones standing between you and the bar, so we've got just 20 pages to get through. This is such a huge honor, and to share the stage with really inspirational scientists and advocates, it's just really humbling and quite thrilling for us. George and I are standing here representing over 20 organizations with really close to 100 scientists and collaborators that we've worked with over the years. So there are far too many people to thank individually. You'll be pleased to hear. But I do want to call out a few people individually. I would like to call out Troy Seidel and Kate Willett, who were really influential in founding AFSA and shaping the vision and driving a lot of the success that we've seen through AFSA. I would also like to acknowledge some of our colleagues, Jan Turner and Laura Viviani, who have really been influential in the medicinal side of things. George and I work a lot on the chemicals and consumer products side of things, but it's a huge collaboration with a lot of moving parts and a lot of great scientific activities going on, and we're really proud of everything that we're doing. And for those of you who I haven't named individually, please know that we are so grateful for the effort that you put in, for the time that you sacrifice. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I would like to say, you know, for every hour that you spend in meetings or in working on projects, every piece of work that we deliver, we are one step closer to a much better future, a much brighter future, one that is not just good for animals that are currently in labs, but also much better for us as humans and the environment and the world as a whole. Yeah, just keep that in mind when I send you a doodle poll for the next meeting or something. I'd like to turn the mic over to Georgia to say a few words as well.
So yes, indeed, we are really deeply honored to be awarded this prize. This not only represents a great recognition of the work that we have done so far, but also is a significant motivation to continue to do that and to keep progressing in our mission. Also, we are very grateful that we are not alone in that. We would like to acknowledge all the great projects that were also shortlisted in this category, because we share together a common vision, and together we can progress towards our goals.
Page 2, me again, sorry. Lastly, really want to thank the judges. I know that you had a really difficult job in front of you, so thank you so much for your consideration. And really thank you to Lush for the support that you've shown to us over the years, and also for hosting this really great event. We've had a wonderful time, and we want to thank you so much.
I'll just read you what I think is probably the last YouTube comment from tonight, from Simon. I love Simon. Simon's been writing in loads of stuff. Very nice stuff as well. From pioneering scientists and young researchers to passionate campaigners and educators. Each winner represents courage, innovation, and compassion in action. Thank you, Simon, for that. Okay, well, that's it, folks. Well, it's almost it. Hold on. We're nearly free to go to the bar, but there's just a few minutes for a few words of thanks. Firstly, to Mark and Mo Constantine, who make all this possible. And I will just zip through the next. To all our judges for the knowledge and expertise and experience brought to the 2026 decision-making process, and for coming here to present the awards. Thanks also to the management teams from Lush and Ethical Consumer, who've helped put on this event and the whole 2-year programme together. That must be no mean feat. Thanks to Yellow Kitchen for the delicious vegan food. Thanks, yes. I haven't had any. I hope there's some left. Thanks to White Light for the technical production. Thanks to Brendan Hesmond Hulsh, creator of the beautiful hair trophies. A special thanks to Terry McCann, who's retiring this year after producing 10 years of science research papers for the team. And finally, thank you to everyone in this room for your support, together with everyone who's been watching online. And thank you, especially you, Simon, for all your lovely online messages. The bar, I believe, will be open until 10:30, so that's plenty of time to raise a glass to all of our wonderful winners. And it's been great to learn tonight how scientific progress and humane values can work hand in hand. And on a personal note, it's been a real honour for me to host this phenomenal event, the Lush Prize Awards 2026. Thank you.